Hello Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 9. He had a code of honor like the men he played on screen, a colleague once said of Edward Faulkner, and he lived it every single day. Edward Faulkner passed away peacefully at the age of 93. Known for his strong presence and deep kindness, he left behind a legacy built not just on memorable roles, but on loyalty, humility, and heart. Though he appeared in dozens of television shows and movies, Faulkner is perhaps best remembered for riding alongside John Wayne in 6 iconic westerns and sharing the screen with Elvis Presley in 2 fan-favorite films. Whether cast as a stern rival or a rugged cowboy, he always gave his characters strength and dimension. His journey to the screen was anything but ordinary. A fighter pilot in the U.S. Air Force, he once flew jets before trading uniforms for costumes. With drive and talent, he built a career in Hollywood, starting with guest-starring roles in Western TV hits. Over the next 2 decades, he worked with some of film's biggest legends, gaining respect with over 250 television appearances and nearly 30 movies. But beyond the screen, Edward Faulkner was a man of generosity and quiet humor. Around set, he was known for lending a hand, showing up prepared, and helping others find their footing. Friends admired his grounded nature. Fans admired his authenticity. Off camera, he treasured family most of all. After retiring, he moved to California to be close to his daughters. His stories, his laughter, and his love for the art of film continued to inspire those around him. His daughter, Leslie Wadsworth, confirmed his passing after a brief illness. While the industry has lost one of its familiar faces, those who knew him know the real treasure was the man behind the roles. Actor and friend Ethan Wayne once said, "Guys like Ed, there just aren't many anymore. Real deal, through and through." Edward Faulkner's legacy rides on in every dusty trail of classic film, and in the hearts of those who still look up to heroes with grit and grace. Tributes to Edward Faulkner. Number 8. There was a quiet soul behind those melodies, a former bandmate once reflected. But when Rick played, the whole world listened. Rick Davies, co-founder of Supertramp and the creative force behind some of rock music's most loved songs, has passed away at the age of 81. He died peacefully, after a long and brave battle with multiple myeloma, surrounded by love. Born in Swindon, England, Rick's passion for music began early. He taught himself piano and was deeply inspired by jazz and blues. That blend of curiosity and discipline shaped a career that would span over 5 decades. In 1970, he set into motion what would become a global phenomenon, Supertramp. With his unmistakable vocals and signature style on the keys, he co-wrote and performed hits like Take the Long Way Home, Bloody Well Right, and Goodbye Stranger. The album Breakfast in America brought the band to international acclaim and remains one of the best-selling records of its time. Though known for complex arrangements and polished studio work, Rick's strength came from sincerity and restraint. He wasn't flashy on stage, but his presence was steady, soulful, and unforgettable. He guided Supertramp through many changes while keeping its heart intact. Beyond the limelight, Rick was a private man devoted to his wife Sue, his partner in life for more than 50 years. Off stage, he enjoyed the simpler joys, sports, quiet moments, and playing with friends in local bands like Ricky and the Rockets. Despite personal and health challenges, Rick remained committed to music until the end. Fans and fellow artists are now finding comfort in tributes pouring in from around the world. The remaining members of Supertramp said it best. Rick's music and legacy continue to inspire many. Great songs never die. They live on. Rick Davies is survived by Sue and generations of fans touched by his voice, his lyrics, and his humble spirit. He left behind not only unforgettable songs but also a reminder that music made with heart will always resonate. Tributes to Rick Davies. Number 7. Jim never forgot to thank the game and the people in it. He taught us all to be better, not just as players, but as people. Those words from a former teammate capture the steady grace of Jim Marshall, a figure whose heart beat in rhythm with the game of baseball for over 70 years. Jim's journey began as a power hitter in the minors before launching into a playing career in the majors. He wore the jerseys of 5 big league teams including the Cubs, Giants, Mets, and Pirates. A skilled first baseman and outfielder, he played in over 400 MLB games. In his first week with the Mets, Jim homered twice, part of a remarkable debut for the brand-new franchise. He was also one of the first Americans to play in Japan, becoming a fan favorite with 78 home runs for the Chunichi Dragons. Jim believed in the global spirit of baseball long before it became common. After his playing days, Jim continued to shape the game. He managed in the majors with both the Chicago Cubs and the Oakland Athletics. As a coach and scout, he mentored countless players and even helped pave the path for future stars like Ichiro Suzuki. Respected across generations, Jim brought quiet strength to every team he worked with. He wasn't flashy, but he was always solid, always present. His integrity made him a trusted figure in American and Japanese baseball circles alike. He believed that success came not only from talent, but from listening, learning, and working together. Jim passed away peacefully at age 93. His family was by his side. He was remembered not just as a baseball man, but as a devoted husband, a loving father, and a kind soul who always looked out for others. He is survived by his daughter, Allison Ann, and many who considered him family in the baseball world. Jim Marshall leaves behind a lasting legacy, one built not only on stats and milestones, but on character, courage, and care for the game and its people. Tributes to Jim Marshall. Number 6. It's not about going faster than everyone else. It's about going farther than anyone ever thought possible. These words capture the spirit of John Penton, a man whose courage, vision, and love for the ride changed the face of motorcycling forever. John Penton passed away peacefully at the age of 100. He died of natural causes, leaving behind a century of extraordinary stories and a legacy that continues to roll on across trails worldwide. Raised in Amherst, Ohio, John grew up riding through farm fields and fixing engines before most kids learned to drive. After serving his country in World War II, he transformed his passion into a lifelong mission to make off-road riding better, faster, and more accessible. He raced across deserts, mountains, and continents, including an astonishing 52-hour ride from New York to Los Angeles. Representing the U.S. in the International 6 Days Trial 7 times, he commanded respect from peers at home and abroad. But his real mark came not just from riding, they came from building. Frustrated with the heaviness of dirt bikes in the 1960s, he partnered with a small Austrian company, KTM, investing $6,000 of his own money. The result? Lightweight, high-performance motorcycles sold under the Penton name in America. More than 25,000 units were sold, and KTM became a powerhouse thanks to his belief, guidance, and grit. His gear company, High Point Racing, raised the bar for riders everywhere. Working with brands like Alpinestars, he brought premium boots and gear to thousands of racers, including legends like Bob Hanna and Jeremy McGrath. For his impact, he was enshrined in both the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame and the Sturgis Hall of Fame. In 2014, his life was honored in the documentary Penton, capturing his vision and fire for new generations. The racing world continues to honor him through the John Penton GNCC event. A statement from the GNCC called him one of the most influential men in the history of motorcycling. More than a pioneer, John Penton was a mentor, a father, and a friend to anyone with dirt on their boots and a dream in their heart. Tributes to John Penton. Number 5. His musical vision, warmth, and humanity shaped not only our sound, but our hearts. These words from the Cleveland Orchestra capture the spirit of Christoph von Dohnányi, a man who conducted not just music, but emotion, thought, and connection. Christoph passed away peacefully at the age of 96, leaving behind a legacy built over 7 decades. Born into a family of thinkers and artists, he followed his heart into music, guided by giants like his grandfather, Ernst von Dohnanyi, and Leonard Bernstein. Though his quiet demeanor set him apart from more flamboyant figures, Christoph's impact roared through concert halls across the globe. From early triumphs in Lübeck as Germany's youngest music director to transformative years with the Frankfurt Opera and Hamburg State Opera, he reshaped what it meant to lead with purpose and depth. But it was in Cleveland that his legacy burned brightest. Beginning in 1984, he led the Cleveland Orchestra with grace and innovation. He expanded audiences, championed new voices in classical music, and turned the ensemble into one of the world's most recorded and respected. He also founded its renowned youth programs, ensuring the art he loved would thrive for generations. Across the Atlantic, his long-standing role with the Philharmonia Orchestra in London continued his life's mission, balancing tradition with discovery. His interpretations of Brahms, Beethoven, and Britten resonated deeply with audiences and musicians alike. Colleagues remember him not just for excellence on the podium, but for his humility and deep humanity. He listened as much as he led. He nurtured talent, inspired loyalty, and always sought beauty in the details. His artistic partnership with soprano Anja Celia brought unforgettable moments to opera stages around the world. Christoph passed away from natural causes, surrounded by the music and family he so cherished. He leaves behind more than a remarkable career. He leaves a world made better by the art he shaped and the lives he touched. His spirit will echo in every hall where music dares to feel deeply. Tributes to Christoph von Dohnányi. Number 4. Jacques never stopped creating. Whether on screen or with a brush, he gave himself completely to his art. With a career that stretched across decades and disciplines, Jacques Charrier shaped the fabric of French culture in ways both visible and lasting. He brought a quiet intensity to the screen in films like Marcel Carné's Les Tricheurs, and a tender honesty to roles in Babette Goes to War and Anatomy of a Marriage. But his creativity didn't stop at acting. In the late 1960s, he co-founded a film production company with Jean-Claude Brialy, marking a shift from performing to building. Later, he returned to his earliest passion, painting, exhibiting his work in Paris, Geneva, San Francisco, and beyond. Those who followed his journey saw an artist never afraid to evolve. Born in Metz, he remained deeply tied to his roots in France, even as he explored the wider world through his work and relationships. He was known not only for his art, but for his sensitivity, curiosity, and ability to reinvent himself through each chapter of life. His personal life often made headlines, especially his early marriage to Brigitte Bardot, with whom he had a son, but Charrier always kept his focus on his artistic voice. He later found lasting companionship with Japanese artist Makiko Kumano, sharing over a decade of artistic and personal connection. He passed away peacefully at the age of 88, leaving behind his wife, one son, and 3 daughters. The cause of death has been described as natural, following a long and fulfilled life. Tributes have poured in from the worlds of film and art alike. One tribute from the Association des Artistes Français called him a symbol of post-war French creativity who breathed passion and intelligence into every endeavor. Through every phase, actor, producer, painter, ceramist, Jacques Charrier stayed true to a lifelong pursuit of beauty and expression. His work lives on in galleries, in classic films, and in the hearts of those he inspired. Tributes to Jacques Charrier. Number 3. You were a real one, so talented, so rad. Gone too soon, my friend. These words from fellow musician Laura Pleasance reflect the immense love and admiration felt for Alan Blickle, a creative force whose rhythm shaped hearts as much as it did sound. Alan Blickle passed away in early September 2025 at the age of 42, following a period of illness. His legacy echoes far beyond the drum kit. As a founding member of Baroness, Alan helped forge the path for one of progressive metal's most celebrated bands. From raw beginnings in Savannah to the acclaimed Red Album and Blue record, his drumming brought weight and movement to every track. Fans still speak of the ambitious double album Yellow and Green as a turning point, not just musically, but emotionally. He wasn't just a drummer, he was a creative guide for Baroness during their formative years. His precise yet emotional style gave a driving pulse to a sound that inspired countless fans and fellow musicians. Part of Alan's story includes survival and resilience. In 2012, while on tour in England with Baroness, the band's bus crashed. Alan suffered a fractured vertebrae, yet emerged with courage. The incident marked a turning point, and though he moved on from the band, his path took new directions filled with innovation. He explored other musical projects like Romantic Dividends and A Place to Bury Strangers, and even immersed himself in electronic music with Alpaca. Over time, he shifted into sound design and composing for film, television, and video games, finding new ways to create, express, and connect. Alan's talent was matched by his kindness. Those who knew him often speak of his easy laugh, his deep curiosity, and the quiet wisdom he brought into every conversation. Whether on stage or in a studio, he gave his full self. Though details about his family and services remain private, one thing is clear. His life and work meant something. To listeners, to collaborators, to friends. His music lives on. So do the stories, the memories, and the energy he brought into this world. Tributes to Alan Blickle. Number 2. Nobody will say a bad word about him. Those were the words of Gabe Sapolsky, a longtime figure in wrestling, when remembering Jonathan Jacques Echevarria. And he wasn't alone in that sentiment. Jacques, as fans knew him, passed away in early September 2025 at the age of 39, following complications from a heart attack. His loss reverberated throughout the wrestling world, a world he helped shape with passion, presence, and purpose. His journey began in 2007, and over nearly 2 decades, he built a remarkable career. He became a standout in promotions like Charrier, Beyond Wrestling, Evolve, and GCW, and even competed on global stages like AEW and WrestleMania Axis. As a 2-time Evolve Tag Team Champion with Chris Dickinson and a core member of Team Pazuzu alongside Mike Santana and Ortiz, Jacques' performances told stories that connected deeply with fans. But it wasn't just titles and matches that defined him, it was his heart. Known for his unwavering work ethic, infectious energy, and genuine kindness, Jacques lit up locker rooms. Whether mentoring younger talent or cheering on his peers, he carried himself with warmth and humility. Beyond Wrestling called him the original ace, a nickname filled with respect and pride. His sister, Annette Rivera, described him lovingly as a fun, lovable pain-in-the-butt who means the world to us. Friends and colleagues from WWE, AEW, and countless indie circuits echoed that love, highlighting his ability to brighten any room and make everyone feel like they mattered. Through injuries, long drives, small venues, and bright lights, Jacques stayed true to himself and to those around him. His legacy is in every wrestler he inspired, every fan he moved, and every person who called him a friend. Survived by his immediate family, including his sister, Jonathan Jacques Echevarria leaves behind not just a record of accomplishments, but a memory that makes people smile, laugh, and feel stronger. His story was one of grit, love, and loyalty. His impact will never fade. Tributes to Jonathan Jacques Echevarria. What's trending on the internet? News 1. Once in a while, a heartfelt moment reminds us all of what truly matters. Family, resilience, and compassion. This week at the Toronto International Film Festival, Oscar-winning actress Angelina Jolie, now 50, was moved to tears while reflecting on her late mother, Marceline Bertrand, who passed away from cancer in 2007 at the age of 56. Jolie's new film, Couture, premiered at the Princess of Wales Theatre. In it, she plays Maxine, a filmmaker facing breast cancer while navigating the highs and lows of life in Paris. During a post-screening Q&A, an audience member shared their own loss and asked Jolie about messages of hope. Jolie's response was gentle and wise. She recalled her mother saying, "All anybody ever asks me about is cancer." Angelina gently urged all of us to see people not just for their struggles but as whole individuals, still living, dreaming, and loving. Jolie's openness struck a chord, and she was surrounded by loving support from her cast and director, reminding us that patience and empathy can truly lift us through difficult times. As Couture prepares for its U.S. release, Angelina Jolie honors her mother's legacy with courage and tenderness. She inspires us to remember always, every person's story is much more than just the battles they've faced. Drake White, the beloved country singer, and his wife Alex recently shared the deeply moving story of their baby girl, Della Elizabeth White. Della was born early, at just 29 weeks, and despite the best efforts of her loving parents, she passed away peacefully at the end of August. The Whites had hoped and prayed for Della, turning to IVF after facing years of fertility challenges, and had joyfully announced her upcoming arrival to family, friends, and fans. Through their heartbreak, Drake and Alex are leaning on their faith, finding comfort in the love around them and the precious moments they shared with Della. Their community has poured out immense support, and the couple remains grateful for their son William, cherishing every blessing. As the Whites honor Della's memory, they remind us all of the strength that comes from hope, love, and the gentle kindness of those who rally around us in difficult times. Della's short life will always be celebrated in the hearts of her family, shining as a reminder of courage and faith through adversity. Remember when you were a teenager, and just about every warning sounded like an invitation to try something wild? Reality star Kristin Cavallari, now 37 and a mother of 3, recently shared some jaw-dropping stories from her youth that might take you right back. On her podcast, Kristin revealed she once pierced her own belly button with a safety pin in 8th grade, and even sneaked airplane bottles of alcohol to school. Talk about some rebellious spirit. She joked that it all started as early as 4th grade with trouble at school, and by high school a shoplifting incident landed her a hefty 100 hours of community service. But here's the inspiring part. Kristin's candid honesty today helps remind us that mistakes don't define a person. They shape the journey. Once a teenager making headlines for all the wrong reasons, she's now a thriving entrepreneur and beloved host, using her platform to empower others. Kristin's story is a testament to growth, resilience, and the importance of learning from our past. She'll certainly be remembered not just for her bold reality TV days, but for showing that it's never too late to turn things around and inspire those who come after. News 4. Here's something uplifting for all our listeners today. Grammy and Emmy award-winning actress, producer, and health advocate Queen Latifah, now 54, is the new face of Weight Watchers' very first menopause program, just announced in New York. As someone who's been navigating menopause herself, Queen Latifah brings not just star power, but genuine empathy and understanding to a life stage that touches so many women. This groundbreaking program isn't just about weight. It's about helping women feel supported, confident, and healthy from perimenopause all the way through post-menopause. Members will have access to medical guidance, tailored nutrition, virtual workshops, and real community, all designed with midlife women in mind. Queen Latifah says menopause has taught her how important it is to have support that truly understands this time of life, and she's proud to help lead the way toward better care. For millions, her honesty and leadership offer inspiration and hope that this next chapter can be one of empowerment and connection. News 5. If you're looking for a little inspiration today, let's talk about Cheryl Lee Ralph, the spirited star of Abbott Elementary, who's proving that life can be fabulous at any age. Now in her 60s, Cheryl's career is shining brighter than ever. From her show-stopping debut in Dreamgirls to her beloved TV roles, she's been making audiences smile for decades. Cheryl fondly remembers wisdom from the legendary Sidney Poitier and credits mentorship, perseverance, and a deep sense of self-worth for her success. She's also found happiness in her unique marriage with Senator Vincent Hughes, living in different cities but always connected by mutual respect and independence. Cheryl says the secret is patience, with a promise that the best is yet to come. Her journey reminds us all, it's never too late to dream big, cherish meaningful relationships, and embrace new chapters with open arms. Cheryl Lee Ralph is an uplifting example of how to thrive through life's changes, and she encourages us to keep believing that wonderful moments still lie ahead. Number 1. Fighting for the underdog wasn't just a mantra for John Burton. It was the fire that fueled his remarkable life. John Burton, who passed away peacefully at 92, shaped California politics for over 40 years with unstoppable energy, fierce compassion, and a sharp wit that could light up any room or cut through the toughest debate. From the state assembly to the halls of Congress and the California Senate, he fought for those often left behind, the poor, disabled, foster youth, and working families. His voice never wavered when it came to pushing for civil rights, environmental protection, and healthcare reform. One of his proudest accomplishments was founding John Burton Advocates for Youth. The organization continues to uplift the lives of foster and homeless young people across the state, a lasting tribute to his lifelong mission. As chair of the California Democratic Party, John doubled its assets and energized a new generation of voters and leaders. His leadership helped Democrats achieve supermajority control in the state legislature. He was known for saying what he meant and sticking to it, even when it ruffled feathers, and it often did. He played a key role in pushing forward the Comprehensive Anti-Apartheid Act and reshaped how California budgets were passed, making it easier for progress instead of gridlock. Yet behind the tough talk and passion for politics was a deeply kind man, a father, a grandfather, a mentor, a friend. His daughter Kimiko remembers him as someone who never forgot where he came from, always standing beside everyday people. Fellow leaders like Nancy Pelosi and Barbara Lee called him a mentor and a moral compass. Even those across the aisle respected his unwavering stance on justice. Senator Alex Padilla captured what so many felt. John never backed down when it came to fighting for what was right. His legacy is one of progress, heart, and truth. John Burton leaves behind his daughter, Kimiko, 2 grandchildren, and a legacy that spans movements, milestones, and millions of lives changed. A quiet, natural passing closed a life lived loudly and always for others. Tributes to John Burton. Davy always believed in us, even when we didn't believe in ourselves. Those were the words of Darryl Strawberry, capturing the quiet confidence and steady hand that defined Davy Johnson's leadership.